everyone, my name is Alicia and this is Double A Homestead, and I'm so excited because we are in the garden today. And the first garden tour, I didn't show you everything, so I have quite a few things that I want to show you today, and the garden has really grown up since I last showed you. We are harvesting now, so things are getting pretty crazy at the moment. Canning season is upon us, and this is always my busiest time of year. This year is honestly the true test of how things are going to go. And the reason why I say that is because every year we've had this garden, we have not officially lived on the property to harvest. So when we first had built this garden before the expansion, the place that we were living, when we were harvesting, we didn't even live there at that moment. And then the next year, when we did the expansion and then grew all of this, that was the year that we found a house and decided to move. So this is the first year that we have actually lived where the garden is for harvest season. So I'm definitely curious of how this summer is going to go with everything. I've so far been able to kind of keep up with everything except for the summer squash right now. I'm kind of drowning in that, but I'm doing the best that I can, and we'll see how the end of the season goes. We are starting off with our summer squash and our zucchini. Even though I already showed you guys those in the first video, there were things that were going on with those that I'll just go over with you in this one, kind of give you an update. We did lose most of them, not enough nitrogen in our soil, and causing issues with our summer squash and zucchini. And come to find out that that's not the case actually. We have been hit by vine borers, and unfortunately we did lose a few of them to that. I did start seeds inside to get another harvest in, hopefully by the end of the summer, because I have big plans for at least the zucchini this year, and I'm hoping it all goes well, that I can maybe do a video on that and show you guys what I'm talking about. But I want to do a trial run before I show you anything, just to see if it works. A little bit closer up on the summer squash and zucchini. This is the first zucchini plant that we have, and you can see it's not doing so well. I haven't officially diagnosed this one, but honestly I can guess most likely vine borers that I'm dealing with in this issue. I have my handy dandy nippers here. Excuse how dirty they look. I have been in tomatoes with these, so they're looking kind of gross. But I'm going to try and take my sharp end. Now this one has not been producing for a very long time. I have not gotten anything out of this for a couple weeks now. And so I'm not at a loss here if I lose this plant. I have other ones that I can replace it with that I started from seed inside, so it is no big deal. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't see anything, but they haven't gotten fully in yet. So, you know what? We're just going to take it out. Because like I said, I've got other ones in the basement, and I'm not afraid to lose one. I'm hoping to find one for you guys so I can show you what they're going to... Ah, there it is. See that there? That is your grub. That's what the vine borer does. They lay eggs at the base of your plant. When they hatch, they wiggle their way into the plant, and then they will literally eat the inside of the stem of your plant and completely kill it off. But that's what they're going to look like here. I want to get a close-up of this for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. I know it's a little difficult. They're just a very white color, but this is what it's going to look like here, this little grub. There's a couple of them in there. You can see. There are things that you can do to help prevent these. One of the things that I tried, which absolutely failed, or either the eggs were still there when I had done that, was cover it with the stem with mulch, hoping to prevent them from laying eggs on the stems, but it did not work, unfortunately. So we're gonna come up with another plan to prevent this in the future. A few other things that I have seen upon research that I've done is you can wrap your stem in tin foil. That is an option, and I'm sure a quick Google search can give you many more options on how to prevent vine borers on your squash and zucchini. We are in one of our many pepper rows, but these ones are a little bit different just because these are our bell peppers. We have all the colors. We have yellow, red, green, and well, we had orange. I don't know if you know what has happened. um, there has been an issue with mislabeling pepper seeds. I don't know if it's specific to pepper seeds, but I know that there has been an issue this year. They're calling it the Peppergate of 23, and unfortunately, I think that has hit us. The reason why I say that is because these peppers here are supposed to be orange blaze peppers, and they're not looking like bell peppers to me. They look more like a form of jalapeno, and I don't know if they're hot or not. I'm not willing to try them out. I'll have to give Andrew one of these to see if it is hot or not. I'm not big on spice, so unfortunately this year we're not going to be getting our orange blaze peppers, which is awful because these are our absolute favorite. We grew them for the first time in the garden a few years ago. Fell in love with them. They have superior taste. They're just the right sweetness, a wonderful flavor to them. You can see here is what is supposed to be the orange blaze peppers. Definitely jalapeno, which is crazy to me because we got these seeds a few years ago. It's just unfortunate that happened, and I'm kind of confused because I'm pretty sure we bought these seeds a few years ago. We didn't buy any orange blaze seeds this year because they were sold out before I could get to them. So the confusion is there. I don't understand, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't on my end. Maybe it was, but who knows? It's a mystery. So this is one of my tomato rows. This is going to be our Roma tomatoes and our paste tomatoes, basically the same thing. I find, to me anyway, that it is very important that we trim up our tomatoes. As you can see, I don't have a lot of on the bottom leaves. You want good airflow for your tomatoes, and I kind of let the garden slide a little bit. I got extremely busy with other things, regular life things, and I wasn't able to get to them. So I kind of have a little bit of issue going on with some of the bottom leaves. I think that it might be blight. I know it's really hard, at least for me. I haven't figured out the difference between septorial leaf spot and blight. They look very similar to me. If you guys know any like definite key factors that separate the two, if you could put those in the comments, kind of help me out, because the first year that I saw what was going on, I thought it was septorial leaf spot, which is pretty devastating to tomato gardens. That's why it's very important that you try to rotate. But anyway, enough of that. They are doing really well. Besides that, I've got tomato or paste tomatoes growing really well on here. They're very hidden. I see a lot of in my gardening groups that I'm in, a lot of people at this point are, why aren't my tomatoes turning colors? Why are they so green? It's taking so long. My big thing to you is you have to be so patient. It does take time. Even with peppers that I've noticed, it takes a while. They need hot weather to help them turn color, and it's been very back and forth weather for us. It has cooled down. It was really warm. It has cooled down, and the nights are getting cooler, and that has not really helped out at all. I would say the key thing is to have patience with your tomatoes. Now, as far as how many tomatoes I have in this row alone, that's a very good question. That's probably something Andrew could answer that for me, but I'm hoping that I have enough to last us through the winter. I make tomato juice and I guess you could call it pasta sauce out of my tomatoes and use those up through the winter. Unfortunately, last year when I was canning all of these, I had an issue with my KitchenAid where I used that to get the skins and seeds removed, and I lost a significant amount of tomato juice. I still have pasta sauce downstairs, which is great, but the tomato juice is one of my big things that I use as well, and that was devastating when I had to throw all of that out. I had to back you guys away far enough so you could see this, but I wanted to show you our arches and how beautifully that they are filling out this year. We planted so much less on our arches than we did the first year that we had them. We had all kinds of things. We had noodle beans plus our birdhouse gourds on here, and it was just way too much. And you can see it's not overgrown yet, but to have both those things on here was just way too much. So we really cut back on here, and I still got to get some of these guys up to trellis on here. They kind of just do what they want, and if you don't get them on the trellis, they will grow everywhere into everything. I cannot fit everything in this video. I will have to lift you guys so you can see. This isn't even the bottom. There's still a couple feet underneath this camera that you can't see, but this is our squash area, the expansion part, and there are butternut, acorn, and patty pan, or no, I didn't do patty pan this year. I did a different variety of squash. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm going to kind of lift you guys up so you can see how wild this is. And I have been trimming these back too, but that's where the arch is, where we were just standing. And this goes from one side of the garden almost to the other side of the garden and worked our way into the watermelon that we have over there. This is a close-up of one of my squash flowers, and I just wanted to show you how beautiful it is. I have been trying my best to keep these trimmed back so they're not growing into the corn, the watermelon, and everything else that I have in here. We're thinking next year we're going to do arches like we do for the birdhouse gourds just to help with that, just because it's so much over here. I really can't walk anywhere else. I do have a good clear path to get to the rest of my tomatoes and my cucumbers on the other side, but they're really starting to grow into where I keep my cherry tomatoes, so I'm really going to have to trim those back over there. I'm really excited about these, especially with the acorn squash is one of my absolute favorites. Putting it in the oven with some butter on it and brown sugar is just, it's so delicious. So I cannot wait to start harvesting these. I actually have quite a few acorn and butternut. Last year I grew them, I grew all those varieties, but the acorn was really weird. I had lost the plant. Well, it was on the verge of me losing it, and then it came back, and I was able to get just a few more off of it before it officially died. But this year, they seem to be kicking butt, and I'm hoping to get a good harvest out of all of these this year. I wanted to bring you over to the eggplants just because they are so beautiful when they are flowering. They are a really vibrant purple color, and we have quite a few eggplants on here. I need to harvest these this weekend. I am curious though of how you cook your eggplant. I've never cooked eggplant before, even though we grew these last year. I never really got around to it, unfortunately, and I have looked at recipes online. They're honestly all pretty much the same. So I'm curious of different ways how you cook your eggplant. Just go ahead and drop that in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. I'm always looking for new and different recipes to try. So this year, things have kind of gotten a little out of control. And I think I might have planted a little more than I should have. You can see here, these are all of our cucumbers, and there is quite a few. I overestimated how many I need, and they are just growing out of control this year. I think I was just so excited being at our new place and trying things that we haven't been able to try before. I kind of overplanted a little bit, I think, and just got a little too excited. So I will definitely be giving out cucumbers to family and friends this year. But you can see we were down there where the eggplants are, and basically where I'm sitting now, these are all cucumbers. I have different varieties in here. I've got the dark cucumber. That one is more in the middle section. Um, I can't tell really which is which at this point. I just have an idea of where they are. That one is my favorite just because they grow so small, and when you're pickling them, it's really easy to basically cut the ends and spear it and put it in a jar. I've got my Chicago pickling cucumber, which we have grown every year as well. That one is a really good one. I do enjoy that one. It does get a little bit bigger, which is completely fine. We also have lemon cucumber and Armenian long yard cucumber, which I am very excited about. I bought those seeds last year, really wanted to grow them, just unfortunate didn't have the room, but we're doing it this year and I can't wait to see and taste it. I would love to take you over into our indeterminate tomato row, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. It is a mess over there. I have been on and off working on trimming those up, and it is just out of control. I have stuff everywhere. So in the next garden tour, I will show you what that looks like once I get all of that taken care of. But I did want to update you on the floating row covers. We got new ones. The ones that we got off Amazon, the second set, ended up doing the same thing. I was just hoping it could last us until I found a good floating row cover to get us through the rest of the season, and I did, but in that process, we had a storm come through and it did the same exact thing, which is unfortunate. I was able to get my money back on the second set that I bought, which is amazing. The first set that I bought, the window had closed for the return on that. I tried to get a hold of the company, but it seems like it's a different country. I'm suspecting that it is a Russian company. So to be able to call somebody, the number doesn't even work. Unfortunately, I wanted to leave a message to them and let them know maybe I could get my money back on that, but they sent me a message in a different language and I don't understand it, and I'm not sure how to translate that. But anyway, I think what had happened, well, I know what had happened when those row covers got destroyed and basically disintegrated. Um, we In between the waiting period for the other row covers, the heat just got to some of them, and so far we have lost some, which is unfortunate. I don't know if you can see here on the very end how it really kind of has a high bump there. Pretty sure that one has bolted, and so I gotta take some of these out. You can eat the leaves off these, so maybe I could get some good use out of these. We'll see what happens, but that is what's going on with those right now. I do have to check on those and see if anything is ready to harvest. I know last week Andrew had mentioned that there is a cauliflower head forming, so I have to keep a tight eye on those when they are growing. When the heads start separating, that's when you want to harvest because it's just going to completely separate. It's going to look weird, and at a certain point, it is going to be unedible. I'm hoping to get a good harvest out of these. Of course, as everything I have in here, I have big plans for just about everything that's in the garden. It's definitely devastating when you tend to lose something that you have plans for. I don't know if you know or if I have mentioned in any videos that I actually have celiac disease. So I was hoping to turn most of these cauliflowers into cauliflower crust and freeze them so I have pizza crust if I ever wanted a pizza. The last part of the garden tour, I wanted to show you our sunflowers have decided to pop, and That one back there is a lot bigger than what it looks like, but they are definitely starting to open. We have some over there, but you can't really see them that well. The other one is facing the other way. Definitely nice to have other colors in here besides green with the sunflowers. And we also have sunflowers at the other end of the garden and on the side of the garden here. So we definitely have some color going on. It is so wonderful to have you guys in the garden here with me. I am so excited to show you what we are growing this year and to bring you along on our journey. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this video today. And as always, I really hope that you enjoyed it. To really help us out, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. It really means a lot to us when you do that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.